Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading for the period of the 17th through the 22nd of February. I did a reading earlier for those in separation. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I'm getting a lot of good feedback on that reading, that you guys enjoyed it, that some of you say that you really needed it, and it was like right on time for you. So I'm really happy to hear that. One of my clients said, for many reasons, one of which is that she doesn't get her notifications. But she's also been wrapped up in a lot of stuff, unfortunately. She's missed quite a few readings, but she caught that one and, needed it really desperately. So she was really happy that she had been moved to put me on while driving in the car. Like out of nowhere. So I'm really happy to hear that. Please do continue to like, share, and subscribe. We've had such a big problem this week or this past week with notification and then therefore the viewership. A lot of people missed the video, and then I had so many people telling me what wonderful messages they had received, particularly from the love reading last week. So then to have so many people miss it was kind of sad for me, disheartening. So yes, please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Those of you who do, I appreciate it. Let's get into it. So this week, there's a few things going on. And I'm going to try to go, again, not quickly, not rush through it, but as concise as I can, because I still do not have my laptop. They said they're going to mail it back on the 22nd. They keep changing the date. All right. So on the Christian calendar, we have the feast day of the Chair of St. Peter. And this falls on the 21st of the month, Thursday the 21st. I'm sorry, this falls on the 22nd. There's another St. Peter that's celebrated on the 21st, a bishop. St. Peter the Apostle, this feast day about his chair, is celebrated on the 22nd. So for that, I'm going to go to franciscanmedia.org to talk about what it's the meaning of the feast day or why it's celebrated. This feast commemorates Christ choosing Peter to sit in his place as the servant authority of the whole church. After the quote-unquote lost weekend of pain, doubt, and self-torment, Peter hears the good news. Angels at the tomb say to Magdalene, quote, "The Lord has risen. Go tell his disciples and Peter," end quote. John relates that when he and Peter ran to the tomb, the younger outtraced the older, then waited for him. Peter entered, saw the wrappings on the ground, the headpiece rolled up in a place by itself, and John saw and believed. But he adds a reminder. They did not yet understand the scripture that he had to rise from the dead. And this is John 29, where that can be found. They went home. There, the slowly exploding impossible idea became reality. Jesus appeared to them as they waited fearfully behind locked doors. "Peace be with you," he said. John 20:21. And they rejoiced. The Pentecost event completed Peter's experience of the risen Christ. They were all filled with the Holy Spirit, that was a quote, and began to express themselves in foreign tongues and make bold proclamation as the Spirit prompted them. Only then can Peter fulfill the task Jesus has given him. Once you have turned your back, you must strengthen your brothers. Luke 22:32. He at once becomes the spokesman for the 12 about their experience of the Holy Spirit before the civil authorities who wished to quash their preaching, before the Council of Jerusalem, for the community in the problem of Ananias and Sapphira. He is the first to preach the good news to the Gentiles. The healing power of Jesus in him is well attested. The raising of the Tabitha from the dead, the cure of the crippled beggar. People carry the sick into the streets so that when Peter passed, his shadow might fall on them. Even a saint experiences difficulty in Christian living. When Peter stopped eating with Gentile converts because he did not want to wound the sensibilities of Jewish Christians, Paul says, quote, I opposed him to his face because he clearly was wrong. They were not on the right road in line with the truth of the gospel." End quote. Galatians 2:11. At the end of John's gospel, Jesus says to Peter, "Amen, amen, I say to you. When you were younger, you used to dress yourself and go where you wanted. But when you grow old, you will stretch out your hands and someone else will dress you and lead you to where you do not want to go." John 21:18. What Jesus said indicated the sort of death by which Peter was to glorify God. On Vatican Hill in Rome, during the reign of Nero, Peter did glorify his Lord with a martyr's death, probably in the company of many Christians. Second-century Christians built a small memorial over his burial spot. In the 4th century, the Emperor Constantine built a basilica which was replaced in the 16th century. Like the committee chair, this chair refers to the occupant, not the furniture. Its first occupant stumbled a bit, denying Jesus 3 times and hesitating to welcome Gentiles into the new church. Some of its later occupants have also stumbled a bit, sometimes even failed scandalously. As individuals, we may sometimes think a particular pope has let us down as well. Still, the office endures as a sign of the long tradition we cherish and focus for the universal church. So that's what the chair of St. Peter is about. And nothing that I'm going to speak of on the Islamic calendar, but on the Hebrew calendar, on the 19th is Little Purim. So I'm going to talk about that from www.shabbat.org. Always happy. It's a little story about the essence of the Little Purim, based on the teachings of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, courtesy of the meaningfullife.com. The beginning is embedded in the end, say the Kabbalists, and the end in the beginning. Everything has a beginning and an end. The beginning precedes all other stages and particulars, and the end follows them all. But the beginning, if it is a true beginning, contains the seeds of all that is to follow. And the end, if it is a true end, is the culmination and fulfillment of everything that preceded it. So the beginning and the end each embody the entire process, each in its own way. Each is the mirror image of the other. A true understanding of the beginning reveals the end, while a true understanding of the end uncovers the essence of the beginning. Orach Chaim, the way of life, is the first of the 4 sections of the Shulchan Aruch, the codification of Torah law that has been universally accepted as the most basic guide to Jewish life. As its name indicates, Orach Chaim is the section that deals with the day-to-day life of the Jew, the daily prayers, the laws, the observance of the Shabbat, and the festivals, and so on. Like every book, Orach Chaim has a beginning and an end, and here too, the beginning is embedded in the end, and the end in the beginning. The could have been Purim. In the opening lines of Orach Chaim, the Shulchan Aruch quotes Psalms 16:8. I set God before me always. This is a great principle in Torah. It goes on to say, when a person sets in his heart that the great King, the Holy One, blessed be He, whose presence fills the entire world, stands over him and sees his deeds, he will immediately achieve a fear of God and submission to Him. Orach Chaim closes with another verse from Proverbs 15:15. He who is of God and good heart is festive always. The subject under discussion is Purim Katan, the Little Purim. Purim occurs the 14th day of the month of Adar, the day established by Mordecai and Esther as a day of feasting and rejoicing in commemoration of the Jews' salvation from Haman's evil decree in the year 3405 from creation, or the year 356 BCE. But approximately once every 3 years, the Jewish calendar contains not 1 but 2 months called Adar 1 and Adar 2. Which is the real Adar, and which is the addition? When should Purim be celebrated? In Adar 1 or Adar 2? The Talmud rules that Purim is to be celebrated in Adar 2. Nevertheless, the 14th day of Adar 1 is also a special day. It is Little Purim, the day that would have been Purim had the year not been a leap year. What do we do on Purim Katan? We don't read the Megillah, nor is there any special mitzvah to send food portions to friends or to give gifts to the poor, as is the case on Purim proper. The Shulchan Aruch cites an opinion that one should increase in festivity and joy, but rules that there is no halakhic obligation to do so. Nevertheless, the Shulchan Aruch continues, quote, a person should increase somewhat in festivity in order to fulfill his duty according to the opinion that is obligatory, end quote. By way of explanation, it concludes with the above quote from Proverbs, one who is of good heart is festive always, end quote. Joy and festivity are always desirable. So if an opportunity presents itself in the form of a day that might have been Purim, the most joyous day of the year, then one should certainly rejoice and celebrate. So yes, this is a special day falling within the month of joy, which is the month of Adar that we're currently in on the Hebrew calendar. So that was Little Purim. And now from the celestial calendar, there's a few things, and they're all on the same day. The Christian holidays that I just went over, the Jewish holiday I just went over, and the celestial holidays, you're going to see a repeat over and over again of the same days. So February 18th is the first of these such days that we're going to be recognizing on the celestial calendar. At 12:32 a.m., Jupiter will be biquintile the true node. The true node is currently Cancer, for those unaware. And February 18th at 4:09 a.m., Chiron enters Aries, where it had been for a long time from 2018. It was retrograde in Aries for like a year. And then it entered Pisces. So it's leaving Pisces again and coming back into Aries, also on February 18th, 4:09 a.m. And then, in addition, on February 18th, still at 6:04 p.m., the sun enters Pisces. So it leaves Aquarius, and it'll be the end of, Aquarian season. And immediately following the next day, on February 19th, will be the first day of Pisces, and also on that same day at 10:53 a.m. full moon in Virgo. So some of you saw, I know that not necessarily a lot, and certainly not all of you saw the reading that I did earlier, because it was specific to couples in separation. But I talked about the Chiron in Aries. I talked about the full moon in Virgo. And I did so based on the cards. Like, I didn't plan to talk about those things, but what came out of the cards and the way they fell was speaking to me of the full moon, speaking to me of the Chiron in Aries. And actually at the time I didn't realize that it was in Virgo, so I did want to mention that we had mirroring the Hermit, which represents the sign of Virgo, and those cards that showed up representing the moon, not only the moon, but also the Chiron. I think it was the Knight of Wands. And so it was funny going back later to, go over my list and see what was going on as far as, transits this week, and to say, oh, this is what, the angels were trying to show me during the reading. I mean, I think I pretty much got it, but it was interesting to see exactly what's going to be playing out this week. So I won't do the moon because I'll do a full moon reading like I always do. I won't even do Jupiter biquintile the true node. It's let's just say it's going to be a positive transit, and like a conjunction. They'll come together and it'll be a good thing for us. Jupiter currently located in Sagittarius, which it rules. So, you know, it's full of luck and wonder and growth and expansion for us. And so when it hooks up with Cancer, there'll be expansion in areas of things like love and all that. So that's going to be nice. So yeah, Chiron in Aries. And it's funny because when I type this in to bring up something to maybe read from, this site Astro Butterfly came up, and I also talked about butterfly, and that was what made me remember part of what I was discussing, the fact that, you know, Pisces season was about to begin and things, because my sister's birthday is February 19th and the moon. So anyway, Chiron in Aries, 2018 through 2027. It's another one of these very, very long transits, like the Uranus and Taurus. And this little writing here is called "You Are Here for a Reason." It breaks everything out into little sections. I'll just read this one part that says, Chiron in Aries, the identity wound. Chiron in Aries is where you feel you don't have the right to be yourself. Aries is concerned exactly with the affirmation of the self, but Chiron will challenge this affirmation of self with the purpose of finding a higher order. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's all about the individual, about impulse, passion, instinct, and a me-first attitude. Aries is where we assert ourselves, where we go for what we want, where we draw borders to express our uniqueness. Aries is the very first sprout to emerge from the soil in the spring, choosing life, choosing to get out there into the world and to express itself. Chiron is where we feel wounded, ashamed, broken, and inadequate. This is also funny because I was meant to talk about the feminine feeling wounded, torn, like the song. And I even went over the song, Torn. Chiron will challenge Aries and its expression of the self, expression of individuality. Chiron in Aries is about the greatest wounds of all, the wounds of our identity. The wound of identity is when we feel we don't have the right to exist. This is the most painful wound of all because it's the most difficult to grasp. Symptoms of an identity wound, I'm just skipping around, is where you find yourself saying things like, I'm nobody, and overall feeling that way, an overall feeling of emptiness and disconnection. I'm not enough, a desire to prove yourself. If I don't fit in, I don't exist, a desire to be liked by everyone, a tendency to cope with other people, to copy other people, rather, but at the same time, a lack of defining role models, a desire to get unnoticed, fear of expressing one's opinions and beliefs, difficulty in connecting with the body. So, I mean, it just goes on. How do we overcome this sort of thing? No achievement, no money or glory can heal this wound, because being you is not about becoming something that you're not, but about learning how to accept that it's okay to be you. Chiron in Aries will ask us to address and heal once and for all the wound of our identity, a wound that we are all born with. Chiron in Aries is about taking responsibility for your existence, and it's about being present with your wounds, with your pain, and with your shame. Show yourself despite the pain. You're going to feel it, no doubt, but no matter what, you need to show yourself and do what you need to do to take a step forward and be you. You're here for a reason. And it goes on. Some of you might want to look up this page yourself because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I skipped. I can tell you from a personal standpoint, being a person with a Chiron in Aries in their natal chart, it really is about the idea of we fall down and we get up. Chiron and Aries people are the keep it moving people. And maybe that's why it'll be even, that much more difficult for people to heal the wound, because they're not really addressing it. They're just, getting up and keeping it moving and, bleeding to death in the meantime, I guess. So that's it. Those are all our transits for this week. There's a lot going on. And I'm going to go to the cards, beginning with the Knight of Air, who's intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options. You can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Opening to the Ace of Earth, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, an important documents or contracts. Ace of Earth. Very nice. The Two of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. Ace of Earth. The Seven of Earth, seeds well planted. A temporary pause in action. Unnecessary worry. You've already done the work that you need to do in order to manifest this Ace of Earth. Oh, I didn't talk at all about what I felt the Virgo full moon was going to be about. I'll just say really quickly that Virgos, they're very driven. And so since this is about completing things, they will be the people that will help you to finish like open projects, like to get to them and finish them once and for all so that you can really have a new beginning. It can be a true Ace of Earth, like a fresh start. That's what's going to come with the moon, if you ask me. All right, so the Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. And actually, I used a different deck, but the cards that, that are coming out so far are the same. Many are the same as the reading I did earlier. Although that one didn't have like a time constraint on it. It was just about, checking in with couples in separation. The King of Fire, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. This King of Fire could be Chiron or Aries or Mars, which is currently located in Taurus. Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. He is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Ace of Earth. And it's the Ten of Fire. Too much work. Accept help from others. Life's out of balance, and that can cause stress-related health concerns. This feels like deja vu. I think that this may have been the overall energy last week as well. The overall energy is the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. This can point to us having a fear about money, maybe spending too much or not, not spending enough, not knowing how to manage money or what to do with it, period. What decisions to make. It can be this similar about love, fear about love, giving too much of ourselves, not giving enough, holding on too tightly to someone, restricting someone, or they doing that to us. At work, it can be about feeling stuck at work, like working a dead-end job, just for the sake of feeding your family, but you're miserable. And I don't always feel all that stuff coming out of it, but obviously, last week and again this week, I wanted to tell you that. Crowning the masculine is the King of Air, brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. He's a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, and balance mental and emotional considerations. You're surrounded by Major Arcana card 20, renewal with Archangel Jeremiah. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Renewal is judgment in the traditional tarot as it relates to abundance. So there could be money, material, love. It's all about you having earned these things, accolades, praise, promotion, raise. It can be connected to ascension too. The universe raising you up, picking you up, giving you a promotion. And of course, you know, ultimately it will show up and resonate down here too, as above, so below. So God gives you a promotion. You're going to find increase somewhere in your life down here too. As it relates to relationships of all kinds, not just romantic, it's about coming to some sort of crossroad and deciding where do we go from here, if anywhere. You know, sometimes it's, you know, to the moon, Alice, as I used to say. And sometimes it's, you know, nowhere fast or nowhere else. We're done. It's up to you. But you got to like address it so that you can get on the right path, and the, you know, whomever the relationship is, they can get on the right path too. And you can stop wasting each other's time, whether it's business, friendship, romantic, whatever it is, a familiar relationship that's not clicking. Masculine subconscious. It is Major Arcana card Justice, fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. As it relates to romantic situations, seeing justice and judgment together for me. Well, it can mean a few things. Definitely demonstrates a karmic, as in of the universe, connection, for one thing. But on a more 3D level, this can easily be divorce or marriage, you know, like to the contrary, marriage with a king of air crowning. This can be a lawyer or a judge or somebody. And here's the judgment. Here's the justice. There's also something coming out about not deserving a promotion. So maybe this promotion, or the masculine not feeling deserving of a promotion. Of course, it's not going to be legal for everybody too. With, you know, like I said, marriage, divorce, a legal situation. And this can be a judge or a lawyer, but it's not going to be a legal situation for everybody. But it's about doing the right thing. If it's not an actual legal situation, making just decisions and being fair-minded like a king of air, looking at all sides, as many sides of a situation as possible, and being like diplomatic and fair with each person, you know, to try to come up with the thing that works best for everybody. I keep hearing no though, and I don't know, I'm not sure what that means yet. Like there's a good reason to say no. There's a good reason to say no. I keep hearing, but I don't know what that means yet. Hopefully it'll come. Crowning the feminine. Ooh. It is the 5 of fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Great. She is surrounded by the 2 of air, being unwilling or unable to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. And, oh goodness, in her subconscious, the 5 of water, things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in the situation and crying over spilled milk. I mean, these pretty much speak for themselves. 5s are about conflict. They are about loss. They are about disappointment, feeling melancholy and down. The 2 of air is a card typically of like non-action. You need to make a decision, but you're not doing anything. And sometimes that's positive. Like if you consider it as it relates to the high priestess, you know, she doesn't make a move. He doesn't just jump out and make a move either. She observes everything first and careful. 2 of air, it's similar, but it's a little bit less less conscious of the process than the high priestess. The high priestess is purposely not just jumping out the window at any old thing, and she's going to be observant and stuff. The 2 of air is kind of like about fear too, and just not knowing what to do either way, and being afraid to make a choice, so we're not doing anything. So there is a difference there. And, you know, that fear must be coming from these feelings of loss and disappointment but that the 5 of fire and 5 of water have brought on. Crowning. The 2 of fire. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. So the masculine, maybe the no good reason to say no. Maybe there's a contract that he needs to have them go back and look at something. Maybe he shouldn't accept an offer right away. Masculine, if you're offered something this week, you know, make sure it's in writing. Everything is in writing that you're supposed to get, and then it's fair. And, you know, because there may be something that is a loophole. If you need out of a contract or something, there may be something that's a loophole for you to get out. A good reason to say no. Like, oh, this isn't right. Let me skate before it's too late. So there may be something. Of course, this for some can be romantic. And again, it can have to do with getting married, entering some sort of commitment. Or, you know, maybe to the contrary, getting divorced if there's conflict between you. At the root, the Page of Fire, outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. The Page of Fire for me represents the sign of Sagittarius, but it also can be a Leo, an Aries, or you know, anyone likened to those traits or attributes. This can be here representative of, you know, the Chiron in Aries, or Mars, or Jupiter as well. At the heart of the matter, the King of Earth, very nice. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. The King of Earth is a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Feminine, we may have some sort of decision that we need to make as it relates to money. Or maybe, again, entering some sort of partnership. 2 people are involved. Maybe a fire sign. Maybe we're a fire sign as well. You don't have to both be fire signs though. But 2 or more people involved, they can come together, pool their money together toward something, but maybe there's competition there. 2 people may be up for the same job or same promotion or something, and then you're fighting here, or, you know, there's again competition as to who's going to get it. Maybe if you don't get it, you won't see the beauty in not getting it. There's something better for you. So that's what we want to watch for. If it is something you want to watch for, you know, your mentality, get your head out of this negative space, and, you know, visualize yourself doing well in this competition and defeating your competitor, so that you will. I'm going to further clarify these though, particularly for the feminine. I think we need to see what is going on here with all these 5s. Beginning with the Queen of Spring, who is talented, brilliant, and independent and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. And opening to another Ace of Autumn. This looks like a really fruitful week. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or a promotion of the or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. So as we were just discussing, this Queen of Spring, of course, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes as well. Opening to the 9 of Summer. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. Queen of Spring. So feminine, this can also be you fearing like risk. I'm reminded that our overall energy is the 4 of air. So I said, like, holding on to your money too tightly and not being willing to make the decision to put some in, maybe pull some together again with somebody else. Scared money don't make no money. That is the way the saying goes. You have to be willing to, you know, have some sort of a certain level of risk if you want to start a business or something like that. Queen of Spring. And the Queen of Winter, experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All of your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. I'm going to cut on that note. And it is Major Arcana card, Release or Death, which is also what is here underneath our overall energy of the Four of Pentacles. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. This ending is the first step to a happier future. Major Arcana card, Release, represents the sign of Scorpio. And this time the overall energy is the Four of Winter. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution. Meditation and prayer can bring you the answers that you seek, however. When the Four of Winter shows up, it can be about you needing some time to yourself. Maybe it's time to start planning a vacation. Maybe some of you can get away this week. We have President's Day coming up in the United States. At least in New York, schools are closed. I think they are everywhere, right? And we're closed for like a week. It's our spring break. And again, I think that might be the case everywhere, although I'm not positive. But, you know, if you're able to take some time off work, it could be a good time. Just things there might not be going as you want them to. Or maybe, again, you're trying to start your own business and do your own thing. You might just need a break to think and to you know, find some sort of peace for a moment, to gather your thoughts. For the feminine, this can, again, particularly be about a decision that you need to make, with the Two of Air also sitting here. So let's see what else comes. The Four of Swords in love, you know, can be that you need to talk to your partner. You know, everything might not be going as you want it to go in that area either, but you're going to have to communicate that. And maybe you guys need to break away and go somewhere together for some sort of, you know, peace and time to, you know, think about your next move. Atop the King of Air, is the Three of Air, Three of Winter. Sadness is a part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. This can be, again, connected to some sort of legal situation, battle, maybe a divorce. If it's about a settlement, I mean, we have Judgment here. It's like you earn this money that's coming to you. So I don't think it has to do with that, unless it's tied to, you know, someone's passing or something. So that's the sad part. But you do some sort of money or something. I don't have to keep guessing. I can turn the cards over. Atop Major Arcana card, Judgment. It is the Nine of Winter. Your worries and fears aren't real. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that of which you're afraid. Stop worrying. Let go of fear and everything will be okay. Some of you want to leave a relationship of some sort. Not necessarily romantic, but obviously it very well could be. Maybe you've been part of a love triangle with this Three of Winter here. Perhaps with an air sign being involved, or maybe you're the air sign. You want out of something. It's a good reason to say no, like to no to this. You don't want this anymore. And you're having, what do they call, like a sobering moment, a moment of clarity. Where it's like, I don't want this. It makes me uncomfortable. It's making me nervous. It's making me fearful. It's making me sad. I don't know. It's doing not good things to the masculine. I don't know. I feel like we keep coming to the same place, masculine, me and you, where I'm always telling you guys that you got to find, you know, your balls and pull yourself out of these situations. I know sometimes you have kids in these situations. You're like, how can I leave my kid? How can I leave my wife? Whatever. I know, but you're miserable. I don't know what to keep telling you week after week. You know, if it's a job or if it's a relationship, a friendship or whatever, and you are that miserable, get out. Get out. Get out. That's my empath just came out. It's like I can feel all this stuff that they're going through. A top Major Arcana card, Justice. The Prince of Winter, decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. Somebody may be facing some jail time too. And you're going to have to also with that get into a more positive headspace also. Or then when the Nine of Winter shows up, it means that you're at risk of, manifesting negativity into your life. You really got to turn your energy around to something more positive. When the Prince of Winter shows up, it means you're awaiting a decision, or there's a decision that needs to be made. So it couldn't be an actual legal decision, that's being handed down in your regard. And you're going to have to make the decision quickly. There's not going to be a lot of time. Maybe they'll say, here's 2 offers and you got to pick one, or you can cop a plea to this, or, and do less time or something like that. I'll come back to you, masculine. Let me go over here for a minute. Atop the feminine's 5 of fire. Oh, God. It's the 5 of cups. Ugh. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier for you to recover from life's little difficulties. So, feminine, the same thing that I was just telling the masculine, at least with regard to your thoughts as related to the 9 of Winter, I need to tell you, or I need to tell us. We're feeling down again, melancholy. We may be feeling beaten up. Somebody may actually be, at us, not necessarily physically, but just a conflict that's really under skin. Somebody messing with you. Could be, a business with which you deal, perhaps, and they're really trying to do a number on you, and they're trying to say you owe money, or there's something more emotional actually with the 5 of Cups though, than that. More than money, there's an emotion. So you could be fighting with somebody in your family. This could be the feminine to this person, to this masculine. And they were going through, again, separation, divorce, loss of, the relationship. Atop the 2 of air, and this energy of not moving, is one that tells us to move, not only to move, but to forge ahead, full steam. It's the 9 of spring. You've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry. You'll get through them just as you always have. So this is saying whatever this is that's bringing you down, or that's a thorn in your side, it could be somebody that's being a real pain in the ass. But whatever it is, don't let them cause you to not take the action or make the move or make the decision that you need to in order to protect whatever this thing is of yours, whether it's your energy, it's some sort of non-tangible thing, your peace of mind, or if it's something that you actually created with your hands, your work, that they're trying to ruin and steal, your hard-earned money that they're trying to, take from you unfairly or something. The angels tell you to definitely keep going and pushing in that regard, not to give up. Defend yourself and don't give up. You're in the right. Atop this other 5 of Cups, because now we're crowned by 1 and there's 1 down here. That's why I said there's definitely emotion. And now we do have abundance coming in. Maybe there is money involved. This can still be love, though. It doesn't have to be money. Could be money, material, love, combinations of those, all of the above. But, where things were shitty, and it looks like they were been pretty shitty with all these 5s here, all of a sudden there's a turnaround. And very quickly, the courtesy of Jupiter, right? Major Arcana card, the wheel represents the sign, the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules, but also the fixed signs, their energy comes in here too. Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, where Mars and Uranus both are. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. So something that was holding you back, and maybe you were starting to get down in the dumps about it, can turn around quickly if you allow it to. Don't hold the energy down into a negative vibration. Let Jupiter swoop in and help you. But you're going to have to help yourself a little bit by keeping your spirits up to the extent that you are able, despite whatever else is going on. So if you need to, meditate, take a break, remember our overall energy of the 4 of Winter. And with all these cups that are showing up, these cups here, this can have something to do with an actual water sign, perhaps. Also up right behind this Four of Winter is the King of Summer, who's warm-hearted, devoted, loving and faithful. A trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. Maybe it's a decision about the King of Cups that you need to make, or maybe you need to get away with the King of Cups for the two of you to work on, you know, your issues, your problems. Behind that, this one's upside down though, but it's another Justice. Fair and just decisions will be made after all of the advice is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. So if there had been a disagreement, again, maybe you guys need to work on your relationship. You need to get away with, if they're not a direct water sign, somebody about which, you care and they about you. Whether it's a romantic relationship, again, or a friendship or a familiar relationship. There's emotion there. Atop the Two of Fire, it is the High Priestess, another 2, Major Arcana card 2. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. So as it relates to this partnership, the High Priestess is saying, go with the flow, go with your intuition, just follow your heart. If you get, some sort of intuitive feeling or empathic feeling, listen to that, follow that. She wants you to observe your surroundings and to make a move based on what you pick up, period. Atop the Page of Fire here at the root, the foundation, so from where all of this started, is another Page of Fire. These are both Princesses of Spring. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. And at the heart of the matter, atop the King of Earth, is the Three of Earth. This is about abundance that's earned as well. It comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. Again, the Three of Autumn is about abundance that is earned. And so here it is coupled with the King of Earth. This can be about a job that's coming your way, promotion that's coming your way, raise, bonus, accolades, recognition, credit, whatever. You've earned it. Like membership has its privileges. You've earned it. You deserve it. Like that sort of thing. And sitting next to Judgment for the masculine. Judgment, which means the same thing, but you got to, again, get rid of this worry. I do want to look at a couple of these a little bit more closely. I think with this masculine, for some, this has to do with something medical too. And you could be waiting on, I don't know if you call it a decision, or maybe choices, options of what you could do in treatment. And that could be why somebody is worried and they're up all night. They're waiting to hear news back from the doctor, what he has to say. And again, maybe involving in a direct air sign, male, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, maybe specifically a Libra. But I'm still feeling like divorce and stuff too. And even a settlement or something against a job, like it's sad that you have to go through that, that you have to fight against people that you loved or cared about in one way or another, whether it's because you were married to them or because you worked for them or with them. And so that's the sadness, but it's like coupled with this fight that you have to fight. It's just going to be important, again, to keep your spirits and as positive as possible. So to get some rest, if you need to get some rest, even if it's difficult to fall asleep, put on some, meditation sounds or something to help yourself fall asleep if you need to get some sleep. so you can turn that around. Somebody may have given you some news or whatever that you didn't like too. Bad news or something. They may have given you, or they may give you this week. Feminine for us, I went back to these two fives. This can be something popping up from your past, like past coming back to haunt you. Maybe having to do with a water and or fire sign. And again, something or someone in whom or which you are, somewhat emotionally invested. But again, you're being replenished here. If you have, suffered some sort of loss, even if it was a loss of your energy. And that's another reason why the High Priestess shows up. She wants to say, like, where you're weak in these other areas, you're feeling drained, that's what the psychic energy is for. Use that, like, to keep you moving and going. So, you know what? I'm gonna pull another one for. I'm gonna pull another one for this too. The Ace of Winter. So again, there's a new start. There's victory ahead for you. Triumph over those feelings or whatever that situation is, and a new start. Maybe off to a bumpy start, but a new start nonetheless. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. I'll put one more for this too, to balance it all out. And it is another King of Winter. Okay, I tried. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. You may have to tell somebody else about an outcome, a situation, a medical issue, a court issue, and that may be a struggle for you, having to repeat this to somebody else that you care about or something. But you're going to have to be clear and assertive and objective and just like keep it real, like a real King of Winter. If you need advice yourself, seek it out from the most experienced expert that you can find. King of Winter, again, is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And that makes this pile here now 2 Kings of Swords and 1 Three of Swords together. Where it has to do with parties of 3 and situations like that, and maybe love triangles and things that have gone left or that you want out of. There could be more than one air sign perhaps involved too. I'll put one more. I'm so greedy today. The 10 of Spring, whatever the difficulty is, again, coming to an end. This is the foundation. It started with this, with a Sagittarius or Jupiter or this fire element energy down here. Maybe with somebody that's younger or a youthful kind of person. You're working far too hard and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and to enjoy life. Maybe because you're carrying this burden and you're the one that has to tell what's been happening. And maybe it involves, again, romance, love, a loved one, or even a child. You could be the child, parent, child, because I feel somebody older too. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced is the Princess of Summer. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. So that can be, the emotional message can be, what you need to talk to somebody about. Because again, I felt that happening as well. Further advice. Also, I'm going to take some from here. Well, I didn't mean to look at it. I'll just give this one to everybody. It is indigo. The person that you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive and natural born leader. So that can be you here, masculine. That may be why I felt all those feelings. I was so sensitive today as I was reading for you guys. I was beginning with heart chakra. I didn't shuffle the cards again. The answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. And I'm not going to shuffle these either. I'm beginning with Lady Venus. Downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So further advice to the masculine. It is Cernunos, life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual pleasures and powers are increased. This is earth energy, surrounding you. And that makes a lot of sense. Again, there's a lot of activity right now going on with Taurus and now Virgo. This very powerful Virgo super moon that falls within this week on the 19th, on the first day of Pisces. That can be what this is representing too. I forgot to say, but this can be around midweek, around the 19th. Or is that the beginning of the week? Today's the 16th. Yeah, the beginning of the week. Then around the 19th can be whenever this thing is transpiring here with the masculine. About, it's around the Pisces energy too. But at the same time, you're becoming more grounded and stronger, and ready to fight here, like, the goat too. So, don't think you're down and out just because there's negative energy around you. If you're one that's particularly feeling this heavy energy, negative energy, also there's, means and different mechanisms for working with that. Seek out the most professional person that you can to help you. That's what both of these King of Winter cards say. So maybe you need to seek out, a massage therapist, an energy healer like myself, an acupuncturist. I don't know. There's all kinds of different modalities of things that can help you to heal your energy. If you're one that's feeling particularly, depressed and stuck and not knowing, where to turn or what to do about all of this that's surrounding you, masculine. Feminine, from the Keepers of the Light Oracle to us, it is Melchizedek, higher learning. It's like a hermit kind of card, very Virgo, like the full moon. You have learned from experience, and more inner study is now required to further your progress. So there's some enlightenment available to us this week. Maybe it's truth that comes out with this Ace of Winter. From the Angel Therapy cards, masculine, you are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. So you definitely need the healing here, again, with this week. So I would take heed to that advice. For Angel Therapy cards for the feminine, Sacral Chakra. You are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. Amen to that. From the Angel Tarot to the masculine. Oh, good. It's a very healing energy for you. It is Major Arcana card 14, Balance, which is temperance in the traditional tarot. Has a lot to do with compromise. You may need to compromise. Again, you may be in a situation, some sort of battle. It might even be, officially and technically legal. A legal battle, a legal situation. Compromise, negotiation will be necessary. Putting differences aside, realizing that they're not that big of a deal. If that's what's been preventing you from, for example, from leaving a relationship, the differences that you have with this other person or this other place or the job or whatever that you want to be at. And so you decided to stick with the devil, as I mentioned last week, and continue to be miserable. That's not working. So you're being sent this energy and this guidance, moving you, strengthening you to be moved to make some sort of compromise so that you can move forward toward what you really do want. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. Major Arcana card Balance or Temperance in the tarot also represents the sign of Sagittarius. So it's like we got, Sagittarius energy 3 times over too, with these 2 Page of Wands basically, and then the Temperance card. From the Angel Tarot to the feminine. Speaking of Pisces, it is Major Arcana card Awakening or the Hanged Man. Look at things from a different perspective. Right. The different perspective is a more positive one because you're looking at it as a negative one starting out. You're at a temporary standstill, some sort of pause. Maybe you can't move because you're broke, you don't have any money, or you don't have any energy, you're drained, you're feeling down and out. Use that in a positive way, to change your perspective and your outlook overall and get to a more positive place. Take advantage of the time alone that you have or whatever it is, however you end up. It's important to be yourself too. That means like being honest with you about what you want so that when the clock does start moving again, and so you can move toward those things that you want rather than, and those things that you've created that you need to protect rather than continuing to be inactive. And from the animal tarot to the masculine, the 10 of summer. You want happiness so badly, masculine, and it's within your grasp, but you have to take that free will step to grab it. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or chosen family of close friends. Congratulations also may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. The 10 of summer can be about just, feeling surrounded by love and joy. Whatever, however that happens for you. If it's one other person that's near you that makes you feel that way, then that's the 10 of cups for you. And feminine for us, oh goodness, you gotta be kidding me. It is another 5. The 5 of autumn, focusing upon the negative or worrying about money or your career or a crappy relationship can block your progress because your trust and your faith and all these things are at a low point right now. It's just not the best time for you to be starting anything new. I'm going to pull one more card. I'm going to pull advice for our advice because we're still not getting it apparently. We're still in this stuck place. What can we do here? Is some balance for us. So it's another 5, ironically, but it's more healing energy for us, and we're going to have to come to some sort of compromise too in healing some of these situations that we have, or maybe compromising with ourselves. Again, not being so hard on ourselves, easing off on ourselves, looking at things in a different way and saying, maybe this isn't so bad. I can look at it in a positive way. That's negotiating. By merging varying points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. And it's the same thing that I told the masculine about how this works. Coming together. There's some sort of stark difference, very likely. Like one is black and one is white. If it's not literal, that as a metaphor. And you're going to have to figure out how to come together and make some gray. Meet somewhere in the middle. And that's that. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the weekly general reading. If you need any readings or services from me, you know how to find me, Queenofswordsthelightworker.com. I only have 2 client readings remaining to do, and I actually don't even have to do them. I'm not trying to say that I'm putting them off, but I'm doing them very, very specifically when I am moved to do them, and therefore 2 clients that would totally understand that, with whom I've been doing a lot of healing work. So they want me to do their reading exactly like when it's meant. They know me and they know how I work, and we've come a long way. And so I don't have to, and I might decide to do their readings tonight, but I'm saying like, I don't necessarily have to, if you're talking about what's my schedule, do those now. And I've kind of been preferring to do those 2 in particular when I'm moved. Just to give you like an idea, we've done so many things together. I worked even with their dog. The dog had been epileptic and is no more. And, I've worked with the sister, the parents, the friend. And so, again, they understand. That's all I got, 2 readings. So schedule is pretty open. Anybody else wants one? And you can find me at Queenofswordsthelightworker.com. Thank you again for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And also for those of you who support me on Patreon, as in addition to the YouTube and my social media. I appreciate it. I'll be back with love. Namaste.